Hello, my name is Onaydely and my companions are.
Hi, my name is Francisco Lopez Núñez.
My name is Melanie, and in this tutorial we are going to show you 3 different ways on how to make a pizza, starting by a traditional pizza. So let's go! First, we're gonna heat up our oven from 550 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. So while that's heating up, we're going to do the pizza. And we're gonna start by putting our dough in semolina on both sides so it doesn't stick. So for this type of pizza, we're going to need dough, pizza sauce, cheese. You can use whichever you like, but today I will be using mozzarella cheese, and the toppings of your choosing, which today for me will be pepperoni. So we're gonna start with our dough, and we have to stretch and shape it so that way we eliminate all air bubbles. So remember to do this. Okay. Now I'm making the crust. You don't have to do this, it's completely optional, but I like to do it. And then after you do that, you have to add semolina to the board. You can find this on the supermarket, and you have to use this. This is not optional. The purpose of the semolina is so the dough doesn't stick to whatever pizza board or base that you're going to use. After you do that, you have to take your dough and shape it to size. So it looks something like this. Then we can move to the sauce. Now the sauce can be whatever sauce that you have at your disposal, whatever you can find in your local supermarket. But be sure to spread it evenly across the dough. And then when you have that, you can move on to the cheese. As I said before, I'm using mozzarella cheese, but you can use whatever you want and whatever you have. You can even do combinations of mozzarella and cheddar. And you add how much you want to the pizza. Now, you can leave it like this, really. You can have a simple plain cheese pizza, which is also really good. But I like to spice things up a bit, and I'm going to do that by adding the toppings, now, which mine are going to be pepperoni, as I said before. And after you have this, it's time for the oven. So let's go. As a reminder that you can use whatever oven you have in your house and it's gonna work just fine. For this one, we're gonna leave it for 12 to 15 minutes, and I'll check with you guys later.
15 minutes later.
Well, it's been about 30 minutes, so the pizza should be ready now. Let's get it. This should be your final result, guys. As a reminder, your ingredients should be dough, semolina, so the dough doesn't stick. You also need cheese, whatever you like, pizza sauce, and if you want toppings, then you should get the toppings. And that's about it. And you get this delicious traditional pizza. You can get all of these ingredients in your local supermarket. supermarket and it's super easy to make. So now it's your turn.
Well, thank you, Melanie, for that amazing traditional pizza. But now we're going to do a healthier option. We're going to do a homemade vegan pizza. It's going to taste as it was a traditional pizza. So let's get to it.
Well, I hope you're ready because I'm really hungry. So let's start this tutorial. First, you're going to need a simple pizza bread, which this is a vegan one, but if you want a healthier option and you don't necessarily want a vegan one, you can get a whole wheat pizza bread. So let's start with the first ingredient, that is a fresh mushroom tomato sauce. You put a little bit on the center with a spoon, and then you do this motion. And you do this a couple of times. Yeah, I think that's enough. So the second step is going to be to put our vegan cheese. You can find this at your local stores, and you put it at your traditional cheese on top of the sauce. Let's go to the third step, which is adding the vegetables. In this case, I have green pepper and a little bit of tomato. So you add it. Yeah, I like to add a lot of it, but you can add, as much as you want. A little bit of here. All right, and a little bit of tomato. It can be cherry tomato, but here I have normal tomato. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a little bit of basil. This is a really good ingredient to add to your vegan pizza because it enriches the flavor. You get a fresh albahaca. In Spanish is albahaca, in English is basil. You can find it in a lot of local stores. Alright, and then I'm going to put the basil flour on top of it so it looks a little bit pretty. Step, we're going to do a vegan seasoning with shredded oregano as this. Put a little bit on top, and finally our garlic powder. This is organic garlic powder, and remember to just put a tad bit of garlic powder. For the fifth step, we're going to put it on the oven. With a spatula, you carefully are going to lift it up with the plate close to it, and as gently as possible you put it on the oven, just like that. Alright, then you close it, and now I'm going to show you the right temperature that you're going to set the pizza. So now we're going to set the right temperature of our vegan pizza, and it's going to be cooked at about 400 degrees. Remember that, 400 degrees. And then we're going to put the timer at 15 minutes. Just like this. And after that, the pizza is going to be ready. So meet me after the pizza is cooked.
15 minutes later.
After the 15 minutes have passed and you got the pizza out of the oven, you just have to enjoy it. And remember, this is the healthiest option, and in my opinion, is the best tasting. So now let's enjoy it. Bon appetit!
Today, I'll be making a simple, cheap, 5-minute homemade pizza. But first up, let me put you in this scenario. It's late at night and you're hungry, but you don't want to do anything complicated that is gonna take a long time and a lot of dedication. You just want to do something simple, fast, and that is gonna taste delicious. Let me tell you, this is for you. But you're gonna need the following ingredients. 2 tortillas. It can be as big as this one or smaller. You're gonna need sauce. I'm gonna use a spaghetti sauce. cheese, and you can use any cheese of your preference. And complement, you can use whatever you want. It can be chicken or veggies, but in this case I'm gonna use pepperoni. And now let's get on to the process. First, you're gonna put the tortilla on the pan without turning on the stove. Then you're gonna take the sauce and you're gonna spread it with a spoon like this without touching the edges, and I'm gonna tell you why later. Now it should look something like this after you spread it with the sauce. Now you're gonna take your cheese and you're gonna spread it over, including in the edges. After you put your cheese all over the tortilla, you're gonna take your complement, in this case mine is pepperoni, and you're gonna put it one by one all over your tortilla. Once you put your pepperoni all over your tortilla, you're gonna take another layer and you're gonna put it on top. And this is why at the beginning of the video I told you not to put the sauce at the edges, so once you put this layer on top, it can be easier to seal it. Also, to seal it better, I use this and I put it here at the top of it. And now you turn on the stove.
A few moments later.
When you come to check it, you take up the top and you touch it carefully just to make sure the cheese is melted. If the cheese is melted, it's time to turn around. Like that. And then you put again the top and you wait for a while.
5 minutes later.
After you turn it both ways and your shape is ready, well, it's time to slice and enjoy. Thank you so much for watching.
Well, thanks for watching.
I hope this video was helpful, but if you have any comments or questions, don't hesitate in asking us. Thank you.